Hello everybody, welcome back to my YouTube channel. If you're new here, my name is Maya. And you guys, today's video, if you clicked on it, you're either curious or you're going through it. And listen, we're gonna be talking about virginity. And I wanna bring some peace of mind to all who are struggling with this, who feel out of place because all their friends are losing their virginity and they feel like something's wrong with them, or they're the black sheep of their friend group just because of what? Sex? Y'all, we need to gain some sense here, okay? And this is some advice I am going to be speaking to my younger self, because I think as human beings, sex is something that isn't talked about enough. And because it's not talked about enough, it leads our curiosity to wander. And sometimes it wanders us into the bedroom with people who don't love us, people who don't care about us. And that's a flaw in today's society. You being a virgin is not wrong, my dear, at all. I'm talking to men and women. You abstaining yourself from sex is okay, is an okay thing to do. And I know it doesn't get talked about enough in today's society, because music videos showcase sex, advertisements, I bet all your friends are talking about it, And human to human, I see you. I see what you're going through. I know, because when I lost my virginity when I was 16, and it was not in a cute way at all, was not in a romantic way at all. I felt pressured as well, because all my girlfriends were losing their virginity, getting their, cherries pop, whatever. And I was like, I feel like I'm out of place and I will do it with anyone, basically. And listen, you guys, this is because I didn't get taught about sex either. I thought it was a very, very normal thing to do around that age. And I actually had the mindset that I didn't care who I did it with. I just wanted to get it done so I could tell my friends I got it done. And that is so sick. That is so sick. We do not open our bodies, or men penetrate women just to tell our friends about it. That is sick behavior. And I'm not shaming you guys for having this mentality, because I was there. But I want to really regain our center point right now. I want to remind you of how sacred you are, and how you should not feel ashamed. How you should not feel ashamed for saving that energy. And perhaps you're not even wanting to save it. You're like, Maya, you talk and you'll talk, but I don't want to save it. I want to do it. Let me ask you this. Why? What is truly the reasoning of why you're wanting sex right now? Is it to fit in? Is it to have the experience? Will you do it with anyone just to say that? These are really important things we should consider, you guys. Because what I would rather have my younger self do, first and foremost, learn about my own body. Learn about my own body before I just allowed another person inside of me. Seek out relationships, not an individual to go to the bed with. Because listen, you guys, we don't even get taught about the repercussions of sex. Sex is something that's glorified in today's society because it's actually feeding off of our humanness for connection. I get it. But we first must make the connection to ourselves. So then our higher self, our sacred selves, our soul can lead us to the right person. And that can come in time. If you're pressuring yourself right now just to have sex with a person, just to say that, please reconsider that decision. Because that decision is not coming from an empowered state. It's actually coming from an insecurity. And that insecurity will deepen with the person you're sleeping with. Do not sleep with a person who doesn't care about you. Don't sleep with a person you just met that night. Don't do it. You deserve better than that. Men, I'm talking to you too. Men have it in today's society ingrained in their minds that sleeping with women, multiple women, is an empowering thing. It's not. It really is not. What I would rather see every single individual doing watching this video who hasn't lost their virginity, form a connection to yourself. Form thy connection to thyself, to your higher self, the self that will lead you to love. And not to a breaking. Because listen, you guys, when someone enters you, or when you enter someone, it feels good for a short moment. And actually, first time, it usually never feels that good, okay? It's an awkward thing the first time around. So why don't you do some research? Why don't you research about sacred sexuality? Men, why don't you research about the woman's body so when you do show up in that container of sex, you actually know what you're doing? And women, please do not perform for a man. Do not do it. A lot of men are programmed by porn sites, about how a woman should act. And if you're young right now, a lot of men have an idea of what a woman should be like in the bedroom. And this is not human. This is not human, men. Talking to you right now. Women are not performance monkeys in the bedroom. Women have emotions. Women feel deeply, especially when you're in her. Women actually has pleasure centers in her being. That's not just within her vagina. If you can make that connection to a woman and a man's heart, soul, before you just enter them, that will leave you with a sexual experience you're proud of. But a lot of people, their first time around, are not even proud of the way that they had sex. Because they didn't know better. They didn't know better. They just followed the societal molds that are pressuring them to what? Get naked in front of a human being they hardly know. So I want to remind you guys right now, nothing is wrong with you. Nothing. If there's any mindset loops that keep repeating in your mind, saying that you're not good enough, you're weird because you haven't had sex, know that that is not your truest self talking to you. Those are your insecurities. Those are people's perceptions of how you should be in today's society. And how you should be is who you are in this here and now moment, every second of the day. Do not make yourself feel ashamed. Please, you guys, know that your first time having sex is not gonna be like like you think. So get comfortable with yourself so you can see another person in their uncomfortability during that time. Before you have sex, talk about your intentions before and after. You don't want to just have someone to sleep with and then to go home and know that a person has imprinted your soul in perhaps a way that was not loving, but just to gratify an insecurity they are holding within. And that's not romantic. That's not sacred. That's a Band-Aid. A lot of people use sexuality as a Band-Aid to cover up a deep-rooted insecurity or flaw. Wherever you are right now in life, you're exactly where you need to be. Your virginity is a sacred thing. Allowing someone into your sacred home, your soul, is a sacred thing. You take this time to meet that part of yourself, because that part of yourself will guide you to a person who you will be proud of sleeping with, and vice versa. Don't allow the modern day society of hookup culture, modern dating, TikTok, Instagram, all this shit programming us to how not to be a human. Show yourself some love. Show yourself some care before another person can meet you there. Research about your body. Research about pleasure centers within a man and a woman. Prepare for this time. And it doesn't have to be a scary thing either. Perhaps it only feels scary because you are not doing it with a person that loves you. And our emotions are our guidance system. And we have to be aware of when these emotions come up, especially around certain people. And please, for the love of God, for your first time having sex, don't consume alcohol. Don't consume drugs. You're going unconscious in those moments. And the sad part about it is a lot of people are unconscious when they have sex for the first time. I was drunk when I had sex for the first time, you guys. And I had this idea growing up of how I wanted sex to be. And my first time was exactly what I didn't want it to be. But from that point now, I can teach you guys. I can at least give my perspective now. If I were to have sex for the very first time again, I would make it a sacred act. I would make sure I had love within myself and care. So then when I do have that person be in this sacred container of sexuality, of sex in totality, I would be able to understand the person, understand the experience, and how this is truly a time for me to meet an energetic inside of me, an energetic inside of you. Your sexuality, that orgasm that you're wanting to have with another person is very special. Is very special. So don't give it just to anyone. Don't give it just to anyone, you guys. You guys are deserving of having sex that doesn't leave you diminished as a human. Doesn't leave you feeling more insecure. A lot of people will have sex from an insecure place, and it leads them with more insecurities. Because that sexual experience is representing to them their very own uncomfortability within sexuality. Feel comfortable within your sexuality by yourself. Know that you are not abnormal for not getting naked in front of a stranger. I don't know, you guys. I feel like virginity, this topic, is not talked about enough, especially to our children, especially to, maybe you're in high school right now, middle school. Maybe you're older too. All in all, you guys, trust the timing. Trust the timing. Do not add added pressure to your life. It's not doing you any good. It's not doing you any service. You have better things to do. This is the time for you to learn about yourself, to find true love within your soul, within the being, looking back at you in the mirror and forming intimacy with that being, you. Sex will come. Don't force it. Don't force it. Learn about women, learn about men, learn about the person you're going to be sleeping with. And I see you, and I know how uncomfortable it can be, especially being in high school and middle school. And even if you're in your 20s, 30s, 40s, 50s, I don't know. Whoever's a virgin right now, you guys, this is all applying to you. Sex is something that's really forced upon us in sneaky ways. And we have to reconsider why we're even wanting it. And who is it benefiting? If it's not benefiting us, take a step back, reconsider, and consider your soul in that equation. Because that's what you're deserving of. You're deserving to sleep with someone who loves you, who cares about you, and who sees you. Know that there's nothing wrong with y'all, nothing wrong. And I'll be the first one to say it, and I mean it. I mean it. The right person will come at the right time. And know that you can't get it wrong. You can't get it wrong, especially your first time, y'all. Take it easy on yourself. And you're sacred. Start viewing yourself like that. And you'll attract another person who mirrors that self-concept back to you in a safe way. Find safety within the person you sleep with before you get into the bedroom. Because it's gonna be awkward the first time. It's gonna be. Accept it. But know that everything's on purpose. Everything's on purpose, especially when you come from an aligned state to your soul. Touch into it. Meditate on it. Think about it in the truest of truths within. Not about another person's perception of who you should be or what you should be doing with your life. Do not act upon sex from a place of insecurity. That will provide you with insecurity within the bedroom. It's not worth it. It's not worth it. Sex is a beautiful, beautiful experience to be had with another person. So please honor it. Put it in high regard. And do not allow anyone to diminish you here and now. As this virgin, you can redefine virginity in any way you please, to a way that's self-empowering. I am a you could say to yourself, y'all, I am a virgin, I am sacred, and I am not gonna give away my sacredness to a human being who can't recognize my soul first. Find gratification within, y'all, so you can then gratify another being. Learn about sexuality. Look up sacred sexuality and bring that forth into your experience of losing your virginity. And you will experience an aspect of God within that moment. I love you guys. I see you guys, and know that all is well and all is perfect in perfect time. That's the advice I would give to my younger self. And now I'm giving it to you guys. So I hope today's video helped you. Know that I care about you. I see you, and everything's good. Everything is good, okay? You good. Virginity is sacred. View yourself as that. I will see you guys in my next video. Bye.